Alright, let's see. At this point, I think my microphone is plugged in and stuff, so I'm going to go ahead and get this going. So this is I don't even know what vlog number I'm on. I don't think I've ever actually known, aside from the first vlog, what the hell number I was recording. But for this week, for the vlog context, we have to... I don't have... My laptop just died on me, it just froze, so I hope it's not actually dead. It seems to be alive and kicking. It makes like a lawnmower noise. I have to record it sometimes when it happens because nobody honestly believes me, but it literally sounds like there's a lawnmower engine in my laptop. It's really weird. But, so this week we have to do something, we have to share something about ourselves, and their stories, or I don't know, something, about something that happened that was embarrassing, just plain retarded or stupid. I think this is pretty good for me, specifically because a lot of people get this opinion of me that's, like, not really the case. I tend to, like, whatever group I'm in communicating with, I tend to take on... Everybody sort of does this to a certain extent, but, I don't know. I just, like, if I'm talking with smart people, I act smart. If I'm talking with stupid people, I act stupid, stuff like that. When I was growing up, I was really, and I still am, like, I take random ass bets just because, like, there doesn't even have to be money involved. If it's just like a pride thing, or if somebody says, you can't, yes I can, so I'm that guy. And everybody has that guy in their group of friends. I'm that guy. So I've taken a lot of retarded ass bets, even for not much. I think I got, the soap bet. Oh man, I got $5 for eating a fair amount of a soap bar, and that was really hard to keep down. It actually tastes kind of salty. It was, it was not tasty at all. Let's see, what else? I snorted pepper. That was, I think either freshman or sophomore year of high school. I just they had pepper, like pepper at each table, because we were visiting a college campus. I forget what it was for. I think it was Latin club. Yeah, because I took Latin in high school. So we went overnight somewhere, and they had pepper on the table. So it came upon me to snort the pepper, and I actually, like, full whiff snorted the pepper, snorted black pepper. And I was sneezing for a good chunk of time. I'm trying to think of some other, like, weirder bets. A lot of them were just, like, pretty standard, like, among friends. Just, like, random food stuff and the like. I don't think... that's pretty much the limit of utterly retarded things I've done. Let's see. Oh, alright. This was all one night. So, my aunt is really ditzy. I love her. I have a lot of aunts, actually. But my aunt is really ditzy. And, she was babysitting me one night. And I guess we were going out to grab dinner because we must not have had anything in my parents' house to cook with. And, because I was big on cooking when I was a kid, and I still am. Although it used to be more baking, now it's just, like, more eating for oh man, I had the best fucking lunch today. We went to, there's a Vietnamese place in town, so in Chinatown, there's, like, different sections, so you have, like, Japantown, Vietnamtown, stuff like that. And then there's this thing called Vietnamese Row, which is all soup kitchens, like pho houses. But they're in Chinatown itself. There's this one place that has really, really, really good bún. So we went there, and I got the house specialty, which is, like, literally everything they fucking have in a soup bowl with. And then they had bok choy in garlic sauce, and that was fucking, oh my god, that was good. So yeah, I'm still kind of in a food coma after that, and it's what, 7:29. So GG. But yeah, that was really fucking tasty. So we went out to dinner, and earlier in the day I had, because, you know, like, we had a dog when I was growing up. Dog passed away while I was in college a couple years ago. So she was ditzier than my aunt, which is, like, it's hard pressed to get up on that tier. But I they always tell owners, like, shock yourself once with the collar to make sure that that you realize basically what you're doing to your dog, stuff like that, whatever. So I had tied it around my neck and walked across the electric fence, and that was something I don't want to do again. I've got electrocuted actually a lot of times in my life, but that wasn't that, oddly enough, that wasn't one of the worst. But all right, so the second time, so I never actually took the collar off, and we were going across my driveway in my aunt's car, and I still had the collar around my neck, and for some reason I didn't put two and two together, like walking out the door with the dog collar. It was cold. It was the wintertime, so I had a coat on, and I couldn't like physically tell, aside from the fact that they had like the two prongs sticking wherever the fuck they were. So yeah, the second time is when we went across the fence in my driveway. My aunt pulled over. I screamed out, "Fuck!" And she looks over at me. She's like, "What happened?" I take the dog collar off. I'm like, I forgot to take this off. So, and then it gets better. So we go to dinner, and of course I'm like more ecstatic in like a just general laughing sense as a term to actually, as opposed to actually like overcome by physical injury, because it's not like, if anybody's ever done it before, it's not that bad, right? It's only a couple volts. So then we go to dinner, and we have dinner at an Italian place. It's like a pizza Italian joint in the center of the city they're grouping. It's in the suburbs, so it's like a small town type of deal. So we went there, and after we had placed our orders, I had my aunt had brought it up again, and I just started laughing, and I was in the middle of taking a sip of water, and I just like started laughing. I choked up all my water. I choked up my water into the water, and was like, okay, well, I need some more water now, but I don't want to ask them like for a completely clean glass, because like why the fuck is this kid asking me? And I don't know. I'm like, I would think I was a freshman in high school at that point. So I don't even know what year that makes me. What was I, 17 when I graduated? 17 or 18, yeah. So that's what? 13-ish. We'll go with 13, right? So I was 13 years old. I didn't really feel like asking for another glass, and the waitress comes over, and of course I'm still hysterically laughing, and I'm like, when the waitress comes over, I'm like covering my mouth. At this point, I didn't have like any remnants of it on. There was a little bit on the table, but whatever. And my aunt, being the sly gal that she is, says to the waitress like, "Oh, I'm sorry, he doesn't like lemon in his water," because there's a lemon in the water. So of course the waitress goes back and she brings me one without lemon, and I'm just like, I'm fucking losing it at this point, because that age too is like the point where I guess it's in girls more than it is guys, but still, like, you get people together and somebody randomly starts laughing and you can't stop laughing for whatever reason. That was, I think, high school, because we had this band director, and he was awesome, but like he also he had real anger management issues, like, oh my god. So there would be times like I was always the guy that like was on the good side of the music director and stuff, but he would still rage at me on occasion. There were a couple times. So hey, there's an embarrassing moment, right? So I was I didn't even like prep this at all. That's what I like about VLOGs. Like I can do this for because I did it for what, like 2 years or so before we started doing these for SE2. Just like talk randomly for upwards of an hour sometimes. So we had this band director who was kind, but he also had the flip of a complete douchebag. So we were for marching band, because I was a fucking music geek. For marching band, it's really cold and my nose is running. I'm sorry. All right, so excuse me for that. He was giving us notes on for the freshmen and stuff and this was my senior year. So he was giving us notes for the freshmen and people just joining the marching band on where the cuts were for specific songs we were doing. That we had like, because it's all looped, like, right, when you watch a college game, it's pretty much just the same X measures of song just looped, and you have to cut specifically in the music, and because they were copies, like, he didn't hand write on each of the copies where the cuts were, and I raised my hand at one point, and like today he was pissed. Like, it was pretty obvious that he was pretty fucking pissed, and it was risky for me to raise my hand in the beginning, but then then he ended up just looking at me, and he looked at me, and he has this stare and this vein. So he's completely bald, right? He has the two gray spots like right over his head, and then he's just completely bald on top. So, and then he has this vein on his forehead that always pops out when he's pissed off. So that vein was popping out. He looked at me, and of course I'm in the front row. I'm a clarinet, so I'm like, whenever we have whenever it's a smaller ensemble, I'm generally like front row all the way to the right hand side. So I'm like pretty fucking close to him. So he just looks at me and stares at me for a couple seconds, and then didn't even get a chance to ask him the question. He looks at me and he says, "Do you want to come up here and do this?" And he's just so passive aggressive. Says, "Do you want to come up here and do this?" No, really, you should come up here and do this. And of course, I was just like pointing out he had asked a while back where the cuts were because he didn't have his right music, and I'd raised my hand for that because God knows I'm sadistic. And he just actually, like, a lot of teachers do this, but he physically made me go up and conduct, like, cut the, like, give the band all of the cuts and then conduct it. So I did that, and it was stuff like that happened, like, once a week, once every 2 weeks, that got me over my laughing indiscriminately, like, whatever I thought was funny at the time. Because, of course, we were still all cracking jokes, but you had to keep a air of, like, even during that, like, Justin was sitting next to me, and he had his head down in his stand, laughing fucking uncontrollably. But I was still on the chopping block, so, like, even if we got like, "You think this is funny? You think, get out." So that was always like, whenever the freshmen would get kicked out, it was funny because, like, the first time that he did that, because the music director he seemed nice like 9 times out of 10, but if you flip the switch, like, the freshmen, the first time they realize that, it's like GG. So yeah, that was pretty funny. So yeah, that's those are a couple of my embarrassing stories, and of course I was still like, in college, if something like that were to happen, it would be more doable considering the concentration that you're in. But, like, for high school to have that happen to you, even though I was like 17 at the time, I was pretty fucking, because he was a scary dude. And of course I was still in the running at this point for all the scholarships and stuff, which I won, like, almost, yeah, I did win actually every single music scholarship that I was eligible for senior year. So, like, despite the fact that I was, like, really on his good side, he always used to flip out, and it didn't even matter who the fuck you were, he would just flip out. And yeah, so that was oh man, it's been a while since I thought about him. This was a fun vlog for me, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it was, like, embarrassing and retarded enough. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys have a good rest of the day, weekend. Of course, I'm recording this on Saturday. I probably won't end up uploading until Wednesday again because I'm lazy like that. Fuck yeah. And yeah, peace out. No, wrong button.